On an early autumn morning, as the gentle sunlight filtered through the golden leaves, a man named An was preparing to start a new working day. An lived in a small village nestled in the middle of a lush green forest. Every morning, the chirping of birds echoed everywhere, blending with the rustling of leaves, creating a beautiful natural harmony. An was an experienced gardener, famous in the village for his skillful sawing and firewood chopping skills. Today, An's job was to saw a large tree that had just fallen after last night's storm. The tree was located near a residential area, and An knew that handling it early would help ensure the safety of the surrounding residents, as well as provide a source of firewood for the coming winter. With steady hands, An took out his well-maintained chainsaw. Before starting, he checked all his protective equipment, helmet, goggles, gloves, and safety shoes. Making sure everything was ready, An started sawing the tree. The sound of the chainsaw was loud, but it still couldn't drown out the distant chirping of birds. An carefully divided the tree into small segments, just enough to easily transport home. He worked rhythmically and skillfully, each saw stroke was even and precise. Every time he sawed a section, he stopped, breathed in the fresh air and admired the natural scenery around him. When the tree segments were cut, An started loading them onto the cart. The sunlight shone down, creating sparkling rays on the newly cut pieces of wood, making them seem to radiate a magical beauty. An gently pushed the cart back home, where he would continue the chopping work. In the yard, An took out a large axe and began to split each log. The powerful and precise strokes of the axe quickly separated each log into small, even pieces of firewood. Every time the axe fell, the chirping of birds continued to echo, creating a peaceful and harmonious scene. and worked hard, but not in a hurry. He understood that this job required patience and meticulousness. Sweat beaded on his forehead, but he still smiled, satisfied with each piece of firewood that was split evenly and neatly. The pieces of firewood would be a valuable source of fuel for the upcoming cold winter, bringing warmth to his family. When the sun was high in the sky, and finished his work, he looked back at the piles of firewood that had been split, feeling a deep joy and satisfaction. The bright yellow sunlight shone down, creating a beautiful and peaceful scene. The birds were still chirping, as if to thank him for taking care of and protecting the forest. The working day ended, and returned home, carrying with him the joy and satisfaction from his work. He knew that tomorrow would be a new day, with other challenges and joys waiting. But today, he enjoyed a peaceful moment under the beautiful sunshine and the chirping of birds, in a wonderful setting of nature.